Some are wild, and some are even a little crazy. Strap in because these aren't your normal drag cars, these are the AA Gassers.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside Drag Racing. I'm at Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park, just outside of Norwalk, Ohio, a part of the NHRA Summit Nationals. But we're covering something you normally don't see on television, and that is AA gas supercharged cars. Yeah, you heard me right. They're still out there. They still exist. Remember, George Montgomery, K.S. Pittman, and all the guys that used to run all those cars, okay, Stonewoods and Cook. They were so popular then, and now they're resurging again. Here's the guy that kind of looks over this circuit right here. The name of your circuit is?
We're the Ohio Outlaw AA Gassers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mickey Hale. He has you have the only Austin.
Right now I have the only Austin at this event anyway. We do have one more that shows up. He's out of New York, but didn't make this event.
All right, was this a car you built, or was this formerly a supercharged car?
No, this was actually a supercharged car back in the late 60s, early 70s, run out of Pacific Northwest, 392 Hemi in it, back then with a torque flight. Now we have a big block Chevy and a Glide, but the basic car is still intact, just the way it was run back then.
A Chevy?
Yeah.
How can you do that?
I like to go fast.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about going fast. Yeah. What is the average ET and stuff for your circuit?
Right now, everything we do is on the 8th mile. A little bit for safety. The cars definitely hook up a lot better now than from tire technology. So we're all in that 560 area, which equals out to 880, 870, right around there in a quarter.
Okay, what kind of speed do you run?
8th mile, we're probably in the 130-ish area, 156 or so in the quarter.
Okay. Pull the wheels and everything.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing. Our show, big burnouts. We want the wheels up in the air. We do the backup girl thing. So kind of brings back the whole nostalgia.
Yeah, just like they used to do it back in the gasser
war.
Yeah,
exactly. We want the cars. They still look and act. They're unpredictable. So you might get a good run. You may have one going, guardrail to the center line. You just never know.
Okay. Do you have any of the guys that used to run these seen the circuit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Barb Hamilton, who was the first NHRA woman to have a license, she comes out, hangs out with us. But yeah, we've known a lot of the legends over the years, and we've lost a lot of legends over the years. So a lot of it is in tribute to them, and it kind of paved the way for what we do and like to relive the past.
How did you get enthused to run a AA gas supercharger of all the things?
Well, just because they're crazy to drive. That's, anybody can hold onto a dragster A to B and, hold the wheel. This, you really, you have to be on your game and, keep it in between the lines, and it's just a lot of fun to drive.
They're short wheelbase.
Yeah, definitely. When even a Willys, I think, you're talking 100-inch wheelbase anyway. This is at 95. Anglia's at 92. So each one's just a whole different car.
Now, you said a Glide because I know they're pretty well bulletproof. Anybody run a standard transmission at 5
No, none of our guys have a standard. There's other groups out there that do the stick shift and injection, but typically your blower cars, you didn't see too many stick shift. There was a few out there, but, mostly everybody was automatic even back in the day. So it's kind of, just a safety thing, a little bit different. But, yeah, we're all, automatics.
All right, let's take a look at a couple more of these cars. Now, the sponsor of this series, that kind of helps make it go, okay, is Scott's Rods from Monroeville, Ohio, right down the road. This is Scott himself. You actually make some of the bodies?
Yeah, we make over 20 different full-size cars.
So the guys really need you?
Oh, I guess. They seem to, because we're awful busy.
Okay. Do you actually race one of the cars or just sponsor?
Not yet. We're building one now.
Aha! What are you going to build?
We're building an all-glass 51 Henry J.
Oh, that'll be very cool. The AA gas. How did you get hooked up with these guys?
We started building cars probably around 05, and I met these folks through drag racing because my son and I and my wife, we just love it, and it just led from one thing to another.
So you like them? They're very cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the best part of the business.
Okay, well, thanks for your sponsorship.
Oh, thank you.
These are neat.
Enjoy it.
These guys put on a great show, and you know what, folks? We'll take a short break right now, pay a few bills. When we come back, we'll meet one of the other drivers.
This edition of Inside Drag Racing is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology. Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers. And by Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
Back at Summit Motorsports Park on Inside Drag Racing as we continue covering the nostalgia AA gas supercharged cars. Let's meet a guy right now, Mark Benjamin, who has a 33
Willys. Steel
Wow.
Willys, real Willys.
Wait a minute, you said steel.
Steel, yes.
Well, you know, if it ain't steel, it ain't real.
That's what they say.
I'm telling you. So, was this an old gasser car?
No, it was a round car. I used to run dirt tracks back in the day, and I bought it from a fellow in Pennsylvania. It was sitting in a field.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All run down, beat up.
Yeah, it wasn't. The body was excellent, and the chassis was excellent. That's what sold us on the car, and you don't find very many 33s, steel cars. So that lit the fire, and we started building it from the chassis up.
And this is the original chassis and everything?
Original 1933 chassis, yes.
Small block Chevy.
Small block, 400 small block Chevy, injected gasoline.
Yeah, 871 blower, heel burn injection like the old days.
Just like the old days, yes, sir.
Oh, wait, that's a 671.
671. That's what they didn't have 871s in the 60s.
No, they hadn't come out of them yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, you know these came off Detroit diesel motors.
They're exactly right. They came off these. They used to be in like tanks and armored personnel carriers and things.
And boats. Now, you dedicated this car back there on the back. It says what?
Yes, that's to my nephew who died in Afghanistan. He was EOD Marine. He was in for 16 years, and he got killed in Afghanistan. And so I dedicated the car to him, and he's a true hero.
How did you get started doing this? Why a AA gas car?
Well, I just liked them when I was a kid. They were just awesome. And before we started doing all that, I built the car way before we started racing them, just because I liked them. And I just had that. I had other Willys before that, but I just had this vision in mind to build a 33 gasser like Ohio George and K.S. Pittman, the guys back in the Bones Baylog. And matter of fact, Bones and Barb Hamilton. She was the first lady who drove supercharged. She said they helped me design the car and the way I wanted it built. You know.
Yeah, you know, her car's down in the museum in Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, well, she has that home right now, and she's going to be with us, I think, Night Under Fire at Norwalk in August and display with us, so that'll be a real treat.
Okay, so you run this NHRA event, you run a Night Under Fire. I understand you're going to the U.S. Nationals.
Yes, we are. That's quite an excitement running in front of. Well, this is a good crowd here, and then the Nationals is going to be quite an event. We're all excited to go.
All right, well, good luck out there. We'll be following all the round-by-round action. Right now, though, let's meet one more of those racers. Now, everything's not about Austins and Henry J's and Willys and things like that, okay? Some guys want to do a AA gas supercharged car out of a Corvette. Why a Corvette?
Corvette. I've always loved Corvettes. I've had a number of Corvettes in my life, and we got back into drag racing, and I just love this class because of the show, and it's my wife backs me up, my brother-in-laws, my crew, and it turned it into a family affair.
Yeah, but if this was a matching number car, it'd be worth a lot of money.
It'd be worth a lot of money, but it wouldn't be any fun.
That's true, okay. You didn't really chop it up, though.
No, we didn't. You know, we found they only made around a little over 3,000 of these, and we found this was an old race car from Orlando, Florida. And it raced for about 25 years down there, so none of it was numbers matching. It was in really bad shape. So we bought it, brought it up here, and took it all apart and modified everything, put it back together.
So you saved it.
I saved it.
Yeah, it would have went to the junk pile eventually.
Oh, absolutely. And now the Corvette enthusiasts love coming out and seeing a Corvette run.
Yeah, no kidding. A gorgeous Corvette. 57 was a nice year. Tell us about the engine up there.
It's a big block Chevy. It's 496 cubic inches. It makes about 1,200 horsepower. It's got a 671 blower on it to supercharge it, and it runs on alcohol.
Yeah, like they did back in the day.
Back in the day. Everything's old school. The straight axle, the height of it, it's the way they ran them back in the early 60s.
All right, folks, we'll take a slight break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more of these cars from Norwalk, Ohio.
This week's ARP quarter mile quiz question comes from Jerry in Salt Lake City. Jerry asks, why doesn't ProMod use water injection with turbos like the tractor pullers? This week's ARP quarter mile quiz question comes from Jerry in Salt Lake City. Jerry asks, why doesn't ProMod use water injection with turbos like the tractor pullers? With the answer is Harry Haruska from Precision Turbo.
The tractor pullers run twice the boost that we run, so the temperatures in the intake manifold are nearly double. So the water injection really helps them a lot. For us, we run 43 pounds of boost in an HRA, so the water injection is not going to give us much an advantage here.
Well, it's crazy on Inside Drag Racing this time, coming to you from Summit Motorsports Park. We're talking to the AA gas supercharged nostalgia circuit out of Ohio. You couldn't do AA gassers without an Anglia, right? Why an Anglia, Brian?
Because I've always loved the Anglias. We had one back in the 70s, and I wanted to get back to my roots and have a car that you couldn't drive easily from A to B, and it was actually fun to make a pass in.
Oh, yeah, that's AA gas, all right.
Exactly.
Where did you find this?
We found this car actually in Indiana over at the Auburn Cord Duesenberg show. A gentleman out in the consignment field had it for sale. It was a white Anglia and was called Thumper, with racing history from over there. And my wife and I decided this was the car for us.
Didn't have a big block with a blower, though.
No, at that point it had a 289 Hypo Ford C6 automatic, a little tamer than it is now.
Yeah, no kidding. You fixed it, right? 681 blower, big block Chevy?
Yeah, big block Chevy, 671 BDS blower, 4-port Hillborn on alcohol.
Where'd you get the name? It's crazy.
Well, that pretty much came from when we first got the car together. We didn't have a name on it, and the first month or two at the track, the way the car acted, up on two wheels, up on one wheel, we kind of picked the name up from that.
So it doesn't always go straight?
No, most of these cars don't. If it goes straight, it's a super pass, and we feel real fortunate.
Okay, folks, that's what they like about this. That's one of the things that made these cars so popular. You know what? It's race time. Let's take a look at them. 8 cars, first round.
6,637. That 717 index. Robert was 67 on the tree. Greg was 25 on the tree. But then Greg goes 696. Slowing. So Robert Bailey to the semifinal round will be A Gas Supercharged round number 1. How about that? The 57 Corvette and the 33 Willys doing their burnouts. Cool classical gas cars here. Be Bob Cook, Crazy Grandpa, 5.7 Corvette. Qualified that number 4 spot. Mark Benjamin, the 33 Willys. That is an all-steel body on that Willys. That's very cool. Running to the 8th mile now in these cars. So the Corvette coming back in the Budweiser lane. Backup babes out in front of both cars. Very cool. Celebrating the 4th of July here at America's Racetrack. High-riding cars with the zoomies sticking out, and Mark Benjamin doing the dry hops. That's so cool. So Bob Cook pre-stage waiting on Mark Benjamin. First pair, round 1, AA gas supercharged. Woo, them Willies picked that front wheels up, and he has to get out of the throttle. The Crazy Grandpa, Bob Cook, 5.79, 106 for Bob Cook. Mark was better in reaction time in the Willies, and then picked up them front wheels, and she went to the left, and he went, yep, I'll lift off that throttle here, and we'll wait for another time. It'll be the Warlock. That's Mickey Hale, Ed Krasicki. The Austin for Mickey Hale. Ooh, how about that burnout for Ed Krasicki and that phenomenon 33 Willys. So the Willys over here in that Budweiser lane for Ed and Mickey Hale. The Warlock 48 Austin. Back from their burnouts, the girls bringing both drivers back. Mickey Hale, Qualified number 6 at 5.99, Ed Krasicki. Qualified in that third spot at 5.84 with the 33 Willies. AA gas supercharged round number 1 is just so cool. Love this. We do this every year here. The Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals. So the Austin and the Willies. The Austin almost looks swoopy. Wow, Willies picks them front wheels way up, and Mickey Hale trucks right on down through there. 5.56 for Mickey Hale. 5.56. Quickest run of the weekend in A-Gas Supercharged. Mickey goes down through there. 5.81.12 for Ed Krasicki in the Willies, but Mickey Hale, a great 5.56. Goes to the semifinal round in AA Gas Supercharged. Be Martin Steed Jr. and Alan Broiski. Alan over there, that's the Anglia. Martin over here in that 41 Willies. And that 41 Willies, I'll tell you, is just so period correct. Look at that car with the big old weight bar on the back there, the wheelie bars sticking off, the Krager SS mags, and the blower scoops sticking out through the hood. Love Martin's car in from Ohio. Supercharged big block Chevrolet for Martin. And Alan over there in the 48 Anglia, the Scott's Rods Anglia out of New York. Of course, Alan, who qualified in that number 2 spot. Martin in the number 7 spot. Well, dry hops up to the starting line. I love the Anglia. It got the 12 spoke Americans on the front of it. It was just like you had to have those wheels. So here we go, the Willies and the Anglia. Oh, this is a good race here. Great side-by-side race. It'll be the Anglia top end. 5.864, 110 for Allen. He goes to the next round. Martin slows, goes 6.072, 115. But Allen to go to the semis to get Mickey Hale. 5.864 for Allen. And Mickey went that 5.56. Quickest car in the class is Brian Spots. It's crazy. And Dave Cobb. Oh, how about that for a burnout with Brian? Check that baby out. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? It's crazy. Man, you ain't kidding. Brian, come on back. Of course, Dave Cobb over there, the Finders Keepers Willies. So the big block Anglia and the Hemi-powered Willies. Final pair, round 1. AA gas supercharged, the Finders Keepers, and it's crazy. Had a long burnout, you ain't kidding. Of course, Brian Spots qualified number 1. Saw Mickey Hale take that low ET away from him with that 5.56. Brian'd like to get her back. Wow, Dave Cobb left before the tree was activated. So Brian Spots going to go down through there. But woo, Brian gets low ET back at 5.552, 126. So Spots goes to the semis and gets Dave Cobb, Mickey Hale, and Allen in the semifinal rounds. AA gas supercharged.
This edition of Inside Drag Racing is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in racing fastener technology, the School of Automotive Machinists, education at full speed, and by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
720 index. Joe was 45 on the tree. Troy was 26 on the tree, but Joe held him off top end. We're going to the classical gas, AA gas supercharged cars. Alan Borowski out of New York, the 48 Anglia. And Mickey Hale to be the crazy grandpa Corvette for Bob Cook. 5.7 Corvette who qualified in that 4 spot. They run to the 8th mile in the AA gas supercharged wars. course, Allen over there in that Anglia for Scott's Rods, who qualified that number 2 spot. So the crazy grandpa, Bob Cook. Corvette, the Anglia. Oh, a little bit of tire spin out of that Anglia, but I think he'll hold off on that Corvette top end. It's going to be the Anglia. Allen goes 5.697. 5.69.7. Best run of the weekend for Allen. Takes out Bob Cook, that crazy grandpa's Corvette. It'll be Brian Spot. Car went 5.55 in round number 1. Ned Kazicki, the phenomenal 33 Willys going up against that It's Crazy 48 Anglia. Love the backup babes out in front of the cars. The go-go boots. Jim Trace remembers those, I'm sure. Those, Glenn, you had a pair of those, didn't you? Still do? Still do. Good. So the 33 Willys, the phenomenon. Couple of Ohio cars, and It's Crazy. Wax to the throttle now. What's the Willys do? Oh, there you go. That's what I love about AA gas supercharged cars. The dry hops up to the starting line there. So Brian Spot, Ned Kazicki. 33 Willys, 48 Anglia. Bumping them in. It's Crazy with the move off that starting line. Make it work top end. It'll be Brian Spot. 5.651 for Brian. Go to the final round. AA gas supercharged. Ed goes 582, 120. Brian was better reaction time and ran it right on down through there. So Brian Spots to the final with It's Crazy. Pulling into the water box. Be the Scott's Rods car. Brian Spots. It's Crazy. Man, you do a smoky burnout like that, that short wheelbase car, I'll tell you it's crazy. So the Scott's Rods Anglia, over there, that'll be Allen in from New York. Borowski. Alan Borowski and Brian Spots. Right here in Ohio. It's Crazy. Brian has been the quickest car so far, but, well, we've seen how that worked out in other eliminators. So a couple of 48 Anglians, a couple of supercharged big block Chevrolets will run for the trophy here in AA gas supercharged, the classical gassers. So Brian in this orange car over here in that Budweiser lane, and Allen over there in that Summit lane. So here we go for the trophy. At AA gas supercharged, Summit Racing Equipment Nationals, and It's Crazy. Brian Spots out in front, top end. That wind light's gonna come on. Brian Spots, 5.635, 121 takes out. Allen's 5.688 at 131 miles an hour.
And Brian Spots takes home the gold. Thanks for watching Inside Drag Racing. Join us next time from the East Coast Drag Times Hall of Fame in Henderson, North Carolina. See you then.